All right. So hopefully, yeah, sorry about that. For some reason, there's a microphone issue when it connects. And I think it has something to do with the Microsoft update. I think it reset some settings in there. For those of you who don't know, Microsoft is doing a massive update. There should be sound coming in now. Okay, good. Marjorie, I see you can hear. Okay, so that's a pretty big delay. I don't know why. There's a delay no matter what you use going into YouTube or Facebook Live. So it's just one of those things. We just have to kind of deal with it. Like I was saying, there is this weird setting thing that happened with this last Microsoft update. So unfortunately, unless I go live, it doesn't happen. It's fine when I record, but not when I go live. I don't know why. It's just something with the settings. So I guess we're going to keep playing with them. Hopefully this time we've got it. I think I got the motions down a little bit better. So anyway, go ahead and start typing in your questions if you have any questions. And then I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the membership platforms. And the reason why is because, and I have not seen the demo of this, so don't get super excited, but I know we've been talking about membership platforms for like, I don't know, at least a year, right? And I used to use ClickFunnels, which I still like ClickFunnels, but for landing pages, not for a membership platform. And it's really, really difficult to use for a membership platform. So instead, I've been kind of trying to figure something else out. And every time I find something that's semi-decent, it's a lot of work. So there's supposed to be something new coming out next week. And again, I haven't seen the demo, but I thought, you know what? It's a good time to revisit membership platforms in case anybody likes it next week. So for now, let's talk about this and we can talk about a couple of the ones that are out there. Marjorie, are you still using a membership platform? And if so, which one? Because I think I remember which one you said, but I can't remember the name of it. And I was going to look and see, I was going to do some research on it before next week so we could put that in the information that I put out, right? So first of all, while you're telling me that, let's go ahead and talk about membership platforms. Now, it doesn't matter which one you use. It's really preference on, cost versus what you want your user experience to be. So one of the first things that I like about offering memberships, right? So offering memberships is going to be offering them for a lead generation opportunity. Now, this worked really good for me when I did this, and I didn't really do my membership platform as a lead generation opportunity. I just did it because I had no other way to promote, so Marjorie, wishlist and Membersonic. Yeah. So I have used a couple of them, and we're not going to dive into all of those. I just wanted to make sure I had the name so I could look and do a comparison for next week, because some of the costs are prohibitive. And that's, for example, ClickFunnels, you're starting at $97 a month, right? So if you're doing lead generation, like I'm talking about, and you're paying $97 a month for something that is free, then you have to figure out a way to monetize that. And so one thing that we started to do was we would put in recommended products, right? So we would say, okay, here you go. Here's a recommended product for this. So we would teach the strategy, and then we would say, here are the recommended products. Now, with the exception of OctoSuite, which was the most amazing product ever, and unfortunately Facebook shut that down, there have been very few products that really resonate with a lot of people. And so it's difficult to get in and do a free membership where people have to watch videos or get in and do everything else. You have to just kind of motivate people to watch the content. If it's video, or if they got to really want it, right? And if you're putting that much effort into it, you may not want to do it for free. But what you can do when you offer memberships and you do it for lead generation, and that would be free, then you could either then send them to an affiliate offer after they sign up. So you can send them offers via email, or you can send them offers and you can put offers in the content. Let's see what else you can do. You can do a lot of different things with affiliate marketing and that. And this is even with your own products, right? So the second one that I would recommend would be, if you think about it and you go, okay, well, if I'm going to be creating all this content, this is kind of what we turned into, right? We said, we're going to be creating all this content, then why don't we charge for it, right? So charge for the membership. And then you can also put affiliate products inside it. And then, of course, via email as well. And so now you have the opportunity, and you can, even if you have multiple memberships, you could do one in the front end where you're doing, hey, here's a free membership, come on in, join this membership. And I'm going to give you an example of this. So what we found promoting our products was that not everybody likes social media, like all the social media platforms. Like, I know we need to use all of them, especially with Facebook's outage the other day. I mean, come on, who puts an update that shuts down their entire building? Or one entire building at least. But I say that, but when I was in Texas, they did an update for the internet, and the entire state of Texas lost internet for like, I don't know, 24 hours or something. So that was like about 8 years ago. So it's not like that doesn't happen all the time. And AT&T's done updates before that have shut down towers. So that's obviously something that's a problem. But if you think about the different social media platforms, right? And you say, okay, I want to be on Facebook. That's what a lot of people think. They want to be on Facebook. And we've talked about this in the past, but I'm going to recap it a little bit, is that Facebook's reach is about 1% to, I think, a max of 10% for really high engaging sites. And that's organic reach, right? So if you're not paying for ads and you're not out there, doing a ton of work, you're not going to get a lot of reach with your posts into your Facebook pages. But for some reason, everybody was interested in Facebook. So for us, it was easy to put together a free lead gen membership where we did it like kind of a course inside it and said, okay, here you come in and we'll, do weekly trainings and everything. But it's a lot of work. And what we found was that, unfortunately, that most people didn't work their way through the content. They just wanted something that was quick and simple. So instead, you could make your membership be something that's paid and offer something that's lower level for your lead gen. Now, again, this is everybody can decide how to do this. There is no set way, and there's no one way that's better than the other. It all depends on your niche. But now let's talk about the third way, is kind of a combination. So again, you can offer your lead gen, you can charge a membership, but if you're going to be building your own product, essentially, you're no longer an affiliate, you're a vendor. So instead, you can do something like put your product on something like ClickBank. Sorry, I was going to say ClickFunnels again since we already said that one. But ClickBank or JVZoo and utilize affiliates, right? Use their affiliates. Now, of course, you have to put out, I have to spell things right. You have to put out a percentage of that for it, but that's just kind of goes with the flow on that. So this is something that we kind of been leading to for a while if you're in affiliate marketing. And since it's Thursday, I decided to combine the two, affiliate marketing and the updates. But if you think about it, so affiliate marketing, you can only get so far before you start to, I don't want to say saturate. It's going to be saturate your audience eventually, because unless you're constantly generating new leads all the time, which you can do that. I mean, there's plenty of affiliates that do that. Your next level is going to be becoming a vendor. And the part about being a vendor is that a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I have to put together this $2,500 product, which, by the way, Chrissy and I are doing one that was a $2,500 product. Guess what they have inside that? They have affiliate links to the products that they're recommending that we use. They're saying, hey, use this. Here's our affiliate link. Well, they don't actually say that. They just say, here's the link, and you can look at it and you can tell it's an affiliate link. And I'm going, wow, you know what? That's crazy that they're even doing that in a $2,500 product. Now, they're undoubtedly making way more money from the front end, because only a percentage of the people are going to work through the course and purchase the products that they recommend. But still, they're increasing the value of their income, so their ROI, their return on investment, for the people that they're bringing in. Yes, they're already buyers, they're already committed to the process. Okay, now they're going to do these steps. These are the resources that we recommend, and we are affiliates for them, so we're going to make additional money off of people. Now, there's nothing unethical or anything about that. That's the way it should be working, right? I mean, if you're going to have to purchase a product anyway, and that's the product they're recommending, and there is an affiliate program, there's no reason why they shouldn't. It's not going to cost you any more or anything. So it's the same thing. If you are the vendor, then you should be putting in those in there. And then what happens is when you're using the affiliates, right, you're using these affiliates and they are promoting your product to their audience. Now those audience members are new people for you, right? Those are new people for you. Let's go ahead and delete these guys real quick. So one of the main perks of this is that even if you have just a low ticket product or a couple of low ticket products, is that you can, I'm sorry, the chat seems to be going all wonky for some reason. You can refresh or I think freshen up your list, get new leads. And then you can also, of course, you're going to make money because people with little effort for that matter, right? You're going to use the affiliates are going to promote your product. They're promoting your product. Gosh, I cannot type with this microphone. I don't even know why I try. So the affiliates are promoting your product and you're making the money off of them. Okay. So this is where it's like, this is where I've been leaning towards for a long time. And my biggest problem again has been getting people to participate. And so that's what makes the lead generation part of it really difficult if you plan on making money from offering it for free. But if it's just to get the emails, oh, sorry, Marjorie, I didn't know they were up there. Again, oh, there we go. If I hit a 2, that's what happens. I got to get that off there. Okay, I'm going to make a note right now to get that off there. Remove automated elements in Streamlabs. And this would be another thing if we could ever pick the one system, right? So we have it though. Streamlabs is going to be it for a while because it's free. So those who don't know, you can use Streamlabs OBS for free. Yep, to stream to one platform. If you want to stream to more than one platform, you have to pay for it. But one platform is completely free, so it's kind of fun. So, and I know, Marjorie, you've used memberships. Oh, yeah, that makes sense then. I know I was when I first put that up there, it was so exciting. I was like, oh my gosh, look what I could do. And then I keep forgetting to take them off because that's for when we were doing the Facebook stuff. So I have this little guy. He's the cuter one, right? Little puppy guy. And he's kind of out of the way. So anyway, so memberships are a great way to provide value to your audience, to provide a product that is inexpensive to make. It's completely digital for the most part. And I say for the most part because there are some people that are really into, okay, here, I'm going to give you a t-shirt if you do this or whatever. And so if you're doing that type of level where people are paying for it and you're sending out products, then that's going to be different. But yeah, he is a cute little pup. Yeah, so I like the idea of memberships. I think they're a good idea, and we'll talk more about them when I have a little bit more time to review this upcoming product because it's not super cheap. In fact, I think they said if you wanted to do it all, which it's not, I say it's not super cheap. I was paying $97 a month for ClickFunnels to do it. So at $97 a month, let's see, a year of that is just under $1,200. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper than that. But then in comparison, what was that one I was using before? Let me see if I can remember real quick. And this is one for those who, I don't know if I still have it. It's called One Result. So plugin results, one result. This one, plugin. I think that's what it is. Now this is one if you're like, hey, I want one of the cheapest possible. It's a WordPress plugin. And this was pretty cool because if you pay it's like $19 a month or something like that. And I'm going to try to find it for you. Oh, so $17 a month or annually $170 a month. So it's not expensive at all, but it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And that's because it's, I mean, they're WordPress plugins. It's a combination of them. So what I'd have to do is I would create the course and then I would have to connect the course to the dashboard and then I have to customize the dashboard and then I'd have to connect it if I wanted to like put it as a bonus or something. That's another thing you can do with memberships, by the way, is offer them as a bonus for when people purchase from like, if you're promoting products from JVZoo, you can create the product and you can actually attach it so they have all that information. Yeah, Andrew Hunter, and they have a one-time fee. Oh, they do have one you can buy just that one plugin for it. That's a one-time fee. But and I think you can buy all the plugins for a one-time fee as well. It ended up being like, I think if I paid for like 3 years, it would have been cheaper for me to pay monthly. And I didn't make it 3 years, so it was still cheaper. So yeah, so that's what I want to talk about today for affiliate marketing. Now let's hop into some updates. And I wanted to show you guys last week, we were talking about and showing a little bit of Pinterest update. And since Facebook is such low reach, you go, hey, how about a different platform? And this is my other account, 209,000. That's how. I will say that I did not notice on this one. This is my bigger account, and I had only shared it. I haven't created any unique idea pins on here, but I'm going to try. And I did share that one, but I wanted to show you. Sharing that one didn't give me any peaks because one, I get a ton of views anyway on here, and I don't ever do anything anymore. This is my old account. Come on, knock it off. Going live tends to have, it tends to do weird things when you're live and trying to stream at the same time. And I have really good internet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oh, thanks, Bruce. That's really nice. So if you're on Pinterest and Bruce, I don't know if you're part of the Facebook group or not, but if you ever have something and you're like, oh, hey, I have an idea and you want to run it by people, you can always post it in there. Nobody ever participates. So it'd just be me and Marjorie talking to you. So anyway, I want to show you this. Look at this peak. This is from idea pins going in, right? And I did post a YouTube video on last Sunday on how to use Canva to create idea pins completely free. So the thing about this, though, is that if you're not doing idea pins, you're not going to get any reach. And the other problem is if you're not doing regular pins, you're not going to get any clicks. So this is where I'm like, man, it's a lot of work. The idea pins are a lot of work. And one of the disadvantages to it, I say a lot of work, it's not hard to put them together, but you can't schedule them. You can't schedule them. You can only publish. Now you can create a draft and just close out of it, but you still have to go back in there and publish it. So it's like, if you're doing this on Canva, you're going to create it, you're going to save it. You could probably just create like 10 or 15, and then you're just going to have to remember to go in and publish them. And I have noticed this one went, let's see, only one day. It looks like it only lasted for one day. And then this one was when I posted another one, and it lasted a day basically. And so that seems to be what they are. So, but you can see in here, let's go back to, when was this one? Last Sunday, right? Yep. So Sunday. So let's do the last 7 days. And you'll see, so Sunday was the day that I posted. I actually posted 2 because I had created one and then I decided to create it a different way. And so this one obviously didn't make much of a difference that I posted 2. 1 is fine. And then you can see that there's this slope down now, but you'll look and see by the pin, the number of, so idea pin, you can see the idea pins are getting the most impressions, and then it goes to your other pins. And there doesn't seem to be this video pin never had any impressions until I started doing idea pins. And then this one, oh, this one's a new one. That one popped up there. No rhyme or reason at all. It's just popped up there, and it's not even going to my main page, which is great because it's still my product, but it's really good news. And then here's one that goes to my site, and this one is one that gained some momentum after idea pins. So it's something you need to keep in mind if you're doing Pinterest as idea pins. Now, unfortunately, there is nothing like this that I know of that can boost your impressions on any other platform, right? Any other platform. So it's going to be Facebook. What we used to do is that we would find viral videos and we would share them. And those viral videos would then get promoted by Facebook to other people who were interested. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to get a hold of Joanne, and I know she's been out of the market, but so Bruce asked, Pinterest isn't common in syndicator apps, but possible. Yeah, it is possible to syndicate pins. Well, so here's the thing about this is that Pinterest actually has its own internal thing. So you can do it a couple different ways if you want to. And that is, oh my gosh, this thing's going completely weird. Settings. All right, so settings, and you come in here and you can claim your account. So like I have my website is claimed here. And so basically every time I post something, it's got to be a post on WordPress. I don't know on other sites how they pull it, just on WordPress. they'll go ahead and create it from there. Now the problem is with that, and this is why I started kind of changing the way I do my pins, is that, let me go back to the page real quick. And here's, so Bruce, this is something, if you're into syndication, I got to tell you, Pinterest has significant SEO power, especially with images. I rank in images like crazy on some of my sites just simply because they're on Pinterest. And I'm like, this is insane. Now, a lot of the images that I have ranking aren't ones that people look at the images for, which is probably why it's doing so well. But it's still, if you look at images, if you go and you do a search and you start looking at images, you'll start to see that Pinterest is up there quite often. And that's another way, even though image searches aren't huge, it's still something that if you're ranking high up in the images, it's going to be something that for SEO value is really good. So I like to do the automation to at least get that kind of like, I don't know, link juice, but it's not as powerful as it was once before. And that's kind of disappointing, but still it's there. So if I go in, I'm going to show you what happens. Let me go to my saved because I need to show you the folder. So I have it, when I automate, it goes straight from, so I gone into the settings and connected it. It goes straight into Little Biz Resources. Is this updates? No, that's videos. Where's my updates? This one. Yeah, so it goes straight into updates. And you'll see that it's pulling the featured image, right? So you'll see, this is not right. Where's my new ones? Maybe it's not pulling it anymore. Huh. Maybe it's not pulling it anymore. They used to. So the one I use also is Ifttt. And this was probably the better route to go. So it looks like it's not auto posting, which is good news because I did not want it to auto post. And that might be, I swear I saw it on here the other day. So I must have just designated it to a different folder or something. But what it's supposed to do is when somebody is searching, you can see, let me see if it'll do that. This is from a different site. So you can come in and you'll see a pin. I have to go back ways. And it's supposed to basically brand it for you. Pros and cons again. So here's one. Oh gosh, stop scrolling. And so this one, it's branded to the Pinterest account, right? So that's my other account. And this is branded to that. So whatever you create is your brand in here. Every time a pin, no matter if it's yours or somebody else's. So if somebody else pins something from your website to Pinterest, it is branded with you on it. That's one of the benefits of it. However, I will say that if nobody else is pinning your content, it's going to be a problem because Pinterest, rewards people who are pinning other people's content. They're rewarding, like if you pin your content, they don't care. But if somebody else pins your content, oh, that's amazing, right? They think that's just wonderful. And I'm sure that there's a lot of ways to cheat on this. And that's the biggest problem is it's cost money to cheat, unfortunately. And it's really unfortunate that they're not showing the pins to people until you do idea pins, but that's what they're really pushing for. So I would use, but instead of doing it this way, because what happens is that they'll pull the pin and it'll be like, let's say you do a regular image. Oh, sorry, Bruce. I get excited about Pinterest. I like it. It's a good one for basically anything with content. But anyway, so Ifttt is one that's for automation and it's really, really good. They have it here. Oh, $3.33 a month now. So it used to be $3.99. It's down to $3.33 a month. And it's really inexpensive, really easy way to connect and automate to basically a lot of places. And I really like that. And the great thing is that you can, if you want to get into the whole like creepy stuff, then yeah. Okay. Yeah. So long tail image SEO. Yeah, that's basically what it is. And I want to say, let's do, it's always my go-to, Celtic ornaments, right? So when they pop into images, let's say somebody's looking for an image in this. First of all, we're getting kicked out of all of our searches because of ads now. But you can come in and you can see, like this one's my Amazon listing right here. I used to be a lot higher on my other ones, but I shut the site down. So obviously they probably won't show up anymore. And then I had heart ornaments and everything that used to rank really well straight to my site because they were on Pinterest, but it wasn't until I put them on Pinterest that they started to rank. Now, SEO is SEO and it's all about branding and traffic. So, I mean, it's not going to really help you to rank there unless there's traffic, but it's possible, right? It's great to be there. It does cost money to cheat, Bruce. Unfortunately, I know I pay for some of that cheating. Not really. It's just more testing, but all right. So we've got Pinterest updates. I have I'm not going to say given up on Instagram, but the last time I told you guys about Reels, Instagram Reels, and I guess we'll check because that way I'm true to my word. I didn't have any views on that last reel that I know of. Profile. We'll double check because we said Reels were doing really well, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Right? Dang it, I can't see. It doesn't say. It doesn't give you analytics in here. And I did try to go into Facebook and get analytics, and it does not say anything. So, but as far as I can tell, no views on this, no activity, no nothing. Now, I was testing the link because like this one has a link and this one has a link. This one did not have a link. And I got a bunch of activity from this. So I got people following me. I got people liking posts and everything else. Bruce, sorry, there's a delay. Clarify which part, Reels or it costs money to cheat? Let me go ahead and pull up. And yes, I apologize on the delay. It is very difficult. Oops. See, it takes me so long to type this out. That microphone there. Oh, you want more on the long tail image SEO. Yeah. So unfortunately it's not about in case that's what it is, the SEO value. Oh, Pinterest search. Okay. So let's go back to Pinterest then. So Pinterest, which we just decided that Instagram is annoying because there is no rules on them because they're owned by Facebook. And so let's say that you come in here, you get to do some creeping. Idea pins, you don't get to do this on. Regular pins, you do. So video or picture runs, right? You get to add your title here. Your title, basically 40 characters. You get to see recommend at least 40 characters. They're not going to show much more than that. Your first 40 characters, that's where you want to put any type of SEO words that you want. Ideally, obviously, long tail words here, because that is what is going to go into Pinterest search engines, and it's going to get pulled into Google search engines. So you're going to get a link, right? You're going to get that link value from Pinterest, especially if you rank, which again, Pinterest ranks pretty well. And as far as I can tell, there's no rhyme or reason to what Google picks. Google makes their decisions, but I can't figure out how it is. And there's no hard evidence that says this is what they do. So I don't know why my Amazon pin is doing great, whereas, my pin to Etsy isn't, right? Because the one... Oh, any ad. Okay, so hold on. Let's go back to search. Let's go Celtic ornaments. Let's see if we can find a Pinterest image real quick. So, yeah, so if they come into images and then if they click on a Pinterest one, which I'm surprised there's not more Pinterest in here right now. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me talk about that. Okay, so Google, for those of you who have been in SEO for a while or haven't been in SEO for a while, Google has changed obviously rapidly. And no matter what you're doing, if there is the capability, if this shopping thing pops up, you're going to get ads in image search. You're going to get ads in regular search. You're going to get ads everywhere because they don't want you to... I'm surprised it's not showing me ads right now. It normally is. And of course, this varies by day and by minute, but you got your shopping ones, they're going to have ads in the top. So here, this one is going to Walmart, and that's not a shopping ad, but this is an ad. These are all ads up here. So even on your images, if you rank on images, so let's say that you were this person right here, you're going to get all of this stuff in front of you first. And on mobile, it's a lot, right? It's a lot if you're on mobile. So people could be scrolling through that for a bit before they get to the organic ones. So ranking, unfortunately, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a lot of clicks, but thankfully, it is good still for that value. So if you end up being at the top for whatever reason that they've determined, you're gonna have a better chance of ranking in Google regular search as well. And that's just one of those things that there's that correlation there. So Amazon obviously is going to rank really, really well. And that's why this image is ranking really well, because it's an Amazon one, as well as it's probably because it's also linked on Pinterest. So Pinterest has got value. So think about that. Pinterest is linking to me onto Amazon. Amazon's already really powerful. So it's going to rank higher in both images and search. Sorry, guys, I'm choking here. All right. So ideally, though, if you're not on Pinterest, Bruce, you need to be on Pinterest, even if you just automate it. If you just want to pin a few things just so you get that value back to your website, that's fine too, right? And it doesn't matter. Just having that juice is helpful. So if you're not on it, yeah, Pinterest is great for SEO. It definitely is, Bruce. If you're not on it, you definitely need to be on it. And you don't have to be a ton, just some. And ideally, because we're ranking pages here, we're ranking a page, not an entire site, but you still have some value to the site. So it just depends on how much effort you want to put into it. But if you're already ranking and you're like, hey, I'm on page 2, I'm on page 3, and I just can't seem to get past that, and you're not using Pinterest, throw Pinterest in there. I bet it will move you up to some degree. Maybe not tons, it just depends on your competition. But Pinterest is so powerful. And let's see if we can pull up I don't know if this will work. Yeah, I was going to pull it. Let's see if I can get this to work on Pinterest, because then I can show it to you. But oh, come on, Moz. I should say, come on, Google. Google, I love you sometimes, but you have got to stop with your updates that block things. I can show you their exact. There we go. Okay, so that one is there. Let's see if I refresh and it'll be there. So Moz has this free toolbar. It's free. So obviously it's not going to work all the time, but there we go. So they have a domain authority of 94 out of 100. Okay, so 94 domain authority is just phenomenal, right? Ooh, Bruce, that may not be a good thing with your expert user. Just depends on, how close you are. I don't talk to my ex, so I couldn't tell you any type of expertise he has. But yeah, so I would definitely recommend Pinterest if you're not on it, Bruce. And I know, Marjorie, did you try, I know you're on Pinterest, Marjorie, but have you tried any idea pins and seen any type of effective, have you seen anything like I've been seeing? I'm going to go ahead and test it on my big account this week. And that way we can show it next week and say, hey, look, this is what kind of boost we got. Because a lot of my pins on that account are not my pins, right? That was back old Pinterest standards. Now on this Pinterest account, I'm actually following a strategy and trying to make people go to my account rather than other people's pins. So I'd be interested to know, though, if other people are seeing the same things I am. I know in the groups that I'm in, they are reporting the same things. But again, we're following a different strategy. So it would be interesting to see if this is working, if idea pins are working for other people as well. But yeah, so domain authority, while we're waiting for that, domain authority of, because I know there's such a delay. It's so annoying. Oh, good. Okay, Pinterest videos, your Etsy account. All right. And then, yeah, so you're focused on Etsy. Yeah, and oh my gosh, let's not even jump into Etsy issues. So for those who don't know, my sister's Etsy shop is in the top 1%. Mine's in the top 2% of stores. Well, I cannot tell you, the changes they have made have killed our sales and made it so volatile. It's insane. So Marjorie, just keep at it. Eventually they'll figure out what they're doing. Usually this does happen right before the November, December rush. So just keep going with Etsy and get it up as soon as you can. And yeah, it's, Christy and I were just talking today about it. Oh, wow. Bruce, that's crazy. I've never heard of anybody who just used it to use it. That's insane. Huh. It's cool because I know they exist. Pinterest tells us about that all the time, but I don't know anybody who uses Pinterest for Pinterest. I know people who use Pinterest for marketing, but that's my world. I don't use Pinterest for Pinterest. Though I will say, I told my husband about it and I caught him after I told him about it, and I had him like looking at stuff like for like the next month. He was on it all the time. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So now Pinterest and Etsy used to be best friends, like best friends. Like you question their relationship, best friends. And then they kind of started to diverge a little bit. However, I stand by the fact that I still strongly believe that people who are selling and buying on Etsy are more likely looking at pins on Pinterest. So I still stand by the belief that if you have an Etsy shop, you should be on Pinterest. And that's because, first of all, if you're selling anything, you should probably be on Pinterest. That's where people are buying, or, they're kind of shopping and browsing and they're bookmarking stuff there, for lack of a better term. They call it pinning, right? But it's really bookmarking. So if you're on Etsy, and especially with those creative things, right? People are looking for unique, they're looking for creative, they're looking for that type of stuff. And so they're on, oh my gosh, Marjorie, you said a bad word. No, I'm just kidding. TikTok. So they're on Pinterest. So if you're on Etsy, you need to be on Pinterest. So TikTok. You know what, Marjorie, you asked that, and it's funny you asked that because today I read about the 15th article in a row, like not in one day, but in 15 days straight. Like every day Google recommends an article about somebody who did something on TikTok. And I'm going, you know what? Maybe I need to be on TikTok because this is crazy that there's so much virality on there. I mean, you can go viral with really silly stuff on there. So there's obviously a massive market, and it's not the young kids like it was, right? So when it first came out, it was targeting basically teenagers into, preteens. That was their target market. I mean, that was who was using it. And then as it started to grow, it started to kind of take over. And I think a lot of people have shifted from Facebook and Instagram to TikTok. They might still be on those platforms for Facebook and Instagram to claim the numbers, but I think they've shifted to TikTok. So we might need to look at TikTok. And part of the reason why I didn't get into it was because they didn't have anything for advertising back in the day. And if there's no advertising on a platform, they're not going to stick around. So I was waiting to see what happened. And then they added advertising. And then I was waiting to see what happened because I'm not 12. And yeah. So yeah, but TikTok seems to be one now that there's no SEO value to it at all. There's no evidence that it's being indexed anywhere or doing anything. But you would get, and this is part of SEO too, you get that social value. So if you can drive people from there, which we'll have to look at that. So Marjorie, are you doing TikTok? And Bruce, are you doing TikTok? Because I would love to have somebody talk about TikTok. And I feel like I've said TikTok too many times now. And now the whole word sounds weird, right? Okay, so Rewardsly. Yeah. So, oh, did you see the one where I was doing Rewardsly and Appomise? Yeah, I liked. Oh, you're not doing. You're like, I'm not on TikTok. Yeah, so Rewardsly is a really neat platform. A nice, I like it for the reward stuff. I got to tell you, I am really surprised by how many people are getting burned out of rewards programs too. Like I was standing in a store the other day and I can't believe how many people were like, nope, don't have a rewards card, don't want one. I'm going, wow, this is crazy. And it's consistent with what I was seeing with sending reward stuff to people in my Etsy shop. But that's what I was doing with my Etsy shop was I added Rewardsly to that. Right. And so yeah, there's Rewardsly's got a lot of different directions they can go with if they wanted to. And I can see it going a lot of different ways. I don't know that they're going to, but I can tell you that as a user of it, you can definitely use Rewardsly for a lot of different options, a lot of different ways to integrate with other resources. You can use it without having to, you can reward people without them having to pay, buy stuff and everything else. So, okay. So Marjorie, you're getting ready to use the videos you're creating for Etsy products on TikTok. Okay. Now, another question on that, Marjorie, are you putting the videos on Etsy as well? And something that you should keep in mind, I read an article somewhere. No, it was in our group. It was in the group. They were talking about like you can pin TikTok videos to Pinterest, but you can't, if you have the TikTok brand on it, they don't like that. So they said pin it before you put it on TikTok. Just a random thing. I haven't tried it, so. Yeah, so sorry, this is coming in. It's coming in delayed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get people on here live. Maybe we will have to go back to StreamYard. I don't know. We couldn't get that audio figured out though on StreamYard. And they said, oh, well, you can just mess with it. And I said, yeah, that's what I want to do in the middle of a live stream is mess with the audio for an hour. And then the next time you come on, it would be all completely different. So, all right. Well, I mean, Bruce, I'm glad you came. Gosh darn it, I'm on the wrong one again. Let me go over here. Okay, so in case, sorry, I'm typing out the group, facebook.com/groups/littlebiz resources. Let me actually pull that up before and I forgot the S. Not that it matters, it still links through to it. So here's our Facebook group. If you want to, you can always post stuff on. Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah. So Bruce, you make a point about the QR code, by the way, that reminds me of that. So anyway, here's the link to our group just in case you're interested. And the thing about that is I got to tell you, I don't think people know how to use a QR code. I know we think they do, and I know how to do it. But when I just kind of tested a few people and I was like, hey, you want to just like for fun, hey, can you scan this? And they're like, I don't know how. And I was like, what do you mean? Just pull up on your phone. And they're like, no, I don't know how. And then to make it even worse, the ones I could get to open it, half of them had to like install something in order for it to work. So if you're so the idea behind Rewardsly is that you're sending them a QR code or you're having a QR code in the store. I haven't had a chance to test this much yet, but what I was thinking is maybe you can also include, so here's a QR code or, use like a redirect somehow to it. And I'm not sure how to do that because I know the QR code is just basically do what works for them and you. Yeah. And that's, yeah. Yeah. Now, Marjorie, so you use QR codes in your books all the time. Does it work? Do you get a lot of people scanning and going through? Or do you track that at all? Yeah, do in general what works for the platform. Yeah, and the QR codes do work really well for, Rewardsly is based off of QR codes. And I think that even maybe adding a video, like if you have them on a landing page, just adding a video or something like that. It's like you could add the video and just walk them through it. And then once they walk through it once, they're good to go for the rest of their life. And you've enhanced their life greatly by teaching them how to scan a QR code, right? You're an amazing person then. So Marjorie said, yeah, you get people going through. That's good. That's really good, Marjorie. Maybe you'll have to come on and share information about QR codes for people. If you want to, let me know. We could do that next week. Because I think Facebook, they killed their own internal QR code. And I think that was the worst idea they ever had, right? They had a phenomenal idea with theirs. Bruce, all platforms want to shut each other out. Yep. I mean, look at the whole, what is it? Facebook, Apple fight right now. Everybody wants to dominate. We'd love to have you in there, Bruce. Like I said, it's really quiet. People don't, even though it's funny, I talk about this all the time. I'm like, I invite people to the Facebook group, they join, and then they don't ever ask anything. And they don't say anything, they don't do anything, and then they slowly just go away. And I'm going, I don't understand. If you're going to be in a group, you should participate. But for some reason, I don't attract people who want to participate. They all just want to message me directly, which is fine. It's just, I get a lot of emails, and they tend to go to spam quite often. So, all right. Well, we have been on for a while now, 50 minutes. And I'm trying to keep this under an hour. So let's keep it under an hour. Bruce, it was really great to have you on. Marjorie, love you on as always. I'm surprised my sister didn't hop on. I guess she must have forgot. I'm supposed to text her and tell her, which I did, but she probably didn't see my text. So yeah, I think, again, just to recap real quick, if you guys, I know Marjorie's on Pinterest. Bruce, if you're not on Pinterest and you're looking at SEO value, definitely get on Pinterest, even if it's just to get some of that juice back and see if you can get a bump from that. And if you do, love to hear about it. And then, of course, I'm still testing on Instagram because it's a pain. It's owned by Facebook. So, of course, it's going to be a pain. But maybe we'll skip it and go to TikTok instead. That might be the plan. Let's test out TikTok since we know Instagram only has a max 25% reach, and that's on high engaging accounts. So, but I do appreciate you guys coming. And, oh, hold on. Let me give you guys my little puppy again. Yeah, see, I got that from Giphy. In case you guys ever decide to do a live or put it in a video, it's free on Giphy. Little puppy. Yeah, which, by the way, you can add. I didn't mention this before, Marjorie, but you talk Bruce. Good. You should come in and be like, hey, guys, do this, and ask questions and stuff, and we'll be in there. All right. Well, thanks for coming, guys. I'm going to call it quits. I got to feed my daughter and... oh my gosh, a ton of other stuff. So under 15 seconds, TikTok under 15 seconds. Oh my gosh, Marjorie, we could easily do that. I mean, that's like super short. Actually, I think I read that they extended it to 60 seconds. Like that's a recent, like within the last month or two, they changed it to that. So yeah, we'll have to look at that up. We'll do some research and we'll regroup. And if you play with it or if you want to share something, let me know, Marjorie, and we'll try to get Skype up and running and see if we can get it all connected. But we're going to test it before Thursday though. So just let me know and we'll give it a try. Maybe we'll go live on something else. 11 seconds. Yeah. Hey, if 15 seconds works, you know what? And I'm going to tell you, Chrissy, my sister, has been doing YouTube shorts and she's been having them at 60 seconds. And she was like doing some research. She goes, people never make it 60 seconds. Why make them that long? Well, it's like 55 seconds or whatever. But she said that she read that YouTube is encouraging to be 15 seconds or less. So I'm seeing a shift here to 15-second or less videos. So that might be something that we should definitely test. And I bet the same's going to go for Pinterest. So yes, Bruce, it will be. And so Bruce mentioned that syndication and customizing to size format will be a thing. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, Bruce, there are entire platforms that charge buttloads of money to do that. And with Ifttt, you could theoretically automate the entire process so that as long as you've created the images and put them somewhere, you could schedule it through Ifttt or through a calendar or whatever. So it would pull it all. I mean, there's some really, really interesting stuff you can do that. I'm way too lazy to do all of that. So I just like it to like literally automate. But what I started doing was on mine, which again, now I have to check the automation on it. But on mine, I started creating my images instead of it being this way, which I did that on purpose. I made them vertical so that the featured image is vertical because I'm like, I don't care. But there it is. So you might want to test that out and see how it looks on your stuff. And if there's some plugins that you can do it with and everything else. So we'll talk more about automation though, because that's definitely fun. And for now, let's call it quits. Thanks for coming on. And I will see you guys hopefully in the Facebook.